Good morning and welcome to another Ministry Minute. We're going through a series looking at key themes in the letter of Paul to the Romans. And today it's all going to be about the law and sin and justification by faith. So Paul looks at Abraham in a bit in chapter 3 and a lot in chapter 4. And he says, those who belong to the faith of Israel are not the descendants of Israel. Your DNA does not determine your salvation. Rather, you look at the person of Abraham and his characteristics. He had faith, and that was credited to him as righteousness. He trusted God in the absurdity of the situation, and that was credited to him as righteousness. In the same way, the descendants of Abraham are descendants of faith, not the same DNA. It is the faith in Jesus that saves you. It is the faith in the cross and the resurrection that brings salvation. He goes on to talk about how oftentimes we tend to rely on salvation through works. It is the law. If we do A, B, C, and D, then one day we can climb up to heaven. But Paul says the law cannot be a ladder to salvation. Jesus is the one that brings you to heaven. When sin has broken that relationship with God, the only way for that relationship to be mended is when God reaches over and reconciles it back to him. And that's what's happened in Jesus. There's nothing we can do to earn God's grace, to earn God's forgiveness. God has to do something because we have offended him through our sin. It's now God's turn to respond and forgive us and reconcile us to himself. And that's happened in Jesus. And now the only way for us to be justified, to have salvation, is through Jesus, through faith in him. You following me? If you have any questions, comment below. We'll start a conversation. These are the next few chapters of the letter of Paul to the Romans. I'll see you soon.